I talk a lot about setting goals for employees and the fact that you can't have a professional services business without doing that. And people are like, okay, fine, I can see how goals for my people would be helpful, but how do I set them? It's a great question. So let's kind of look at that today. What do I need to do to set goals? How do I set goals for my people? So there are a couple of things to remember. As you may or may not know, we believe in running companies on the rule of thirds. 1/3 of the money goes to the people doing the work, 1/3 goes to overhead, and 1/3 goes to you as the owner for profit. At the very least, on any employee, you need a 3x multiple. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you take their salary, the taxes you pay, any benefits that you pay, add that all together, bonuses, 401k, health insurance, all of the cost to employ someone, and you add it together, you get their full cost of employment. And then you want them to bill and collect, because you got to collect it, you can't just bill it. You want them to bill and collect at least 3 times what you're paying them, at minimum. It would be great if you could get up to 5, but the 3x, you get that, right? 1/3 goes to the people doing the work, 1/3 goes to overhead, 1/3 goes to profit. Now, I said you need a 3 to 5x multiple. So why 5? Well, you're going to have employees that aren't billable. Your receptionist generally isn't billable. The person who does the filing, that's not a billable activity. Your office manager, probably not billable. Your salesperson, probably not billable. So in order to cover the expense of the non-billable people, you need some people billing and collecting over that 3x mark. So 3 to 5. Here's the next question that everybody asks. Well, who is 3 and who is 5? That's easy. When they're young and dumb, they're a 5. When they're new and starting out, they're a 5. I work with a lot of attorneys, and attorneys talk about 3 different kinds of attorneys: the finders, the minders, and the grinders. So the young attorneys, who we call grinders, like if we could, we would chain them to a desk in a room where they're not allowed to eat or drink, because that would mean they'd have to take a bathroom break. So no bathroom breaks. And bill all day long. All we would want them to do is grind out work. Those are the people that need a 5x. As professional services professionals grow, they tend to take on more responsibilities. So in the legal world, they kind of go from a grinder to a minder. So what's a minder? Well, a minder kind of makes sure that everyone has work that needs work, and does some teaching and training, and does some, kind of client relationship management. As you take on those other responsibilities, you go from billing at a 5x to dropping down closer to a 4x. All right, so who's the 3? Well, the 3 is that finder. So this is really the rainmaker in any professional services company, the person who's going out and bringing in clients. So the finder grabs the client, drags them back by the hair, hands them off to the minder, who manages the relationship that passes the work on to the grinder. All right, so does that give you a better idea of where somebody should be in their professional growth pattern and in their multiple? I think yes. However, the next question I always get is, okay, that's really helpful, Brooke, but I still don't have a number. And this is all about setting a goal. So here's how you set the goal. Couple of things. First, you need to decide what kind of quality of life you want your firm to have. Some companies want their billable people to bill 40 hours a week. Great. Let's be realistic. You can't bill 40 hours a week in 40 hours of work. There's what I call frictional time loss. The time after you hang up the phone to kind of remember where you were on that last project and get back into the flow. The time it takes to wander around the office looking for a file or something that you need. The time when you get up to go get a cup of coffee, or after you've had the coffee, you need a bathroom break. It's frictional time loss. No one's going to bill 40 out of 40 hours. And if you have someone who is, I'd be really suspect about their hours. All right, so you can't bill 40 out of 40 hours. A lot of people are very happy, and it's the culture of their firm, to work about 50 hours a week. That's great. How much frictional time loss should be in that 50 hours? I'm going to tell you between 20 and 25%. So if you're working 50 hours, yeah, they can probably bill 40. Most of the companies we work with are smaller. And when you work for smaller companies, there's some trade-offs. You tend to work fewer hours, but you also tend to have a slightly lower salary. So if we're going on that model, let's say that you want your employees to work 40 hours a week. So it's very realistic to expect them to bill 30 of those 40 hours, okay? 75%. Great. All of your grinders, all of your young people, all of your people who have no teaching and training, no responsibilities, no management responsibilities, and no purely client relationship responsibilities should be at 30 hours. Yay! All right. So that is, in lawyer terms, that's the grinders out of the way. Now let's look at the minders. We're going to start with 30 hours a week, and then we're going to start to take some stuff off. Do they need to teach and train? Yes. Okay, about how long a day or a week do we think they're going to do that? Well, they're managing 5 people, and each of those people is going to need at least an hour to sit down every week and get some one-on-one coaching. All right, you've gone from 30 hours to 25 hours. Subtract that 1 hour a day, those 5 hours a week, out of the 30. And then you look at their other responsibilities. Is this a finder who's supposed to go out and get more clients? All right, how many hours a week are they supposed to be networking? Take that out of their billable goal. Find your starting point and then make realistic assumptions about how much time it will take for your people to do the other jobs, to fulfill the other responsibilities that you've given them. All right, so now we have a weekly goal. But I do want to talk a little bit about a yearly goal, because it's not just about how much they work per week. It's how many weeks per year are they going to bill. There are 52 weeks in a year. No one's going to bill 52 weeks in a year. Well, except for that Supreme Court clerk that I dated that had gone into private practice, and I had to take him Thanksgiving at the office. But that's not normal. 52 weeks in a year, there are about 2 weeks of holidays. That's, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, the day after Thanksgiving. That's about 2 weeks. All right, so now we're down to 50 weeks. Most people get 2 weeks of vacation. All right, now we're down to 50 weeks. And then you have to decide, again, back to the culture of your firm, are you going to say if someone wants to go to their child's soccer game or field trip, or a child gets sick, or they're on vacation and they miss their flight back for some reason, it gets canceled, there's a hurricane. What are you going to do about those? I usually say that in most cases, most of the people with whom we work are going to say, okay, fine. I call those life happens. And you need to decide how much life you want to happen in your firm. Is it 1 week? Is it 2 weeks? How much do they miss before you start docking their pay? So let's say it's 2 weeks, which gives your people a great quality of life. So if it's 30 hours a week, 48 weeks a year, that is, I don't know, what, 1440? So why don't we round it up to 1450 hours a year that they need to bill and collect? That's how you set a billing goal. If you have more questions, you can always contact me, and I'll see what I can do to help.